Welcome to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Tim is a retirement and income specialist, certified financial fiduciary, and founder of SafeMoneyRetirement.com, primarily serving Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and Southwest Virginia. But he's sought after nationally for his expertise in helping people secure their retirements. Mr. Wood is a licensed life insurance professional in multiple states and specializes in working with people who are near retirement and those who are already retired with wealth management, income planning, and asset protection strategies. And now, here to talk with you about securing your retirement, your host, Tim Wood.
Thank you for joining me this week. I'm Tim Wood, host of Safe Money Retirement Radio. I specialize in asset and retirement protection and income planning. Someone once said, "Scared money makes no money." I think that statement is somewhat true. Most billionaires at some point took a risk where they could have lost everything. You couldn't become mega rich unless it was handed to you, or you got a little lucky and made the right moves at the right time. In other words, there was probably a lot of hard work, sacrifice, and intelligence that created that wealth, as well as some random good luck. Now, we all love success stories, and if we're honest with ourselves, we would love it if one of those stories was about us. But one of the problems related to those success stories is that we typically only hear about those who ended up winners. Those who tried and failed rarely get their story told. For the people who risk it all and won, there are hundreds, if not thousands more, that lost everything and never got it back. One thing is for sure, there is a cost to making money, and there's a cost with losing it. One cost of making and losing money is anxiety. This is especially true as you get older and get closer to the end than the beginning. You've heard me talk about this before. It's your time horizon. When it comes to investing in the market, people are, or probably should be, anxious about losing their principal investments and gains. When people lose their investment, they are anxious about making their money back. What if you could have interest credited based upon the performance of an external index, but no loss when the index doesn't perform well? Well, you could have this with a fixed indexed annuity. Are you interested in principal protection, locked-in accumulation, and avoiding a loss due to market risk? If you're one of those people that would rather relax than worry about their retirement or the potential of running out of money before you run out of life, give me a call now at 844-905-SAFE. Once we talk, I'll be able to determine if I can help you. When you call, make sure you ask for our Safe Money Retirement Book and Information Kit, which we'll provide at our expense. My number again is 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. What's the cost of anxiety? Is it worth it? As I said, the closer you are to the end of your life, don't you want to decrease your stress over money? Shouldn't you be in a situation where the retirement money you need to count on won't take a nosedive? Wouldn't you want to make sure your spouse will have everything under control after you're gone? What about making sure you have benefits for long-term care, a hedge against inflation, and an income that you can't outlive no matter how long you live? Obviously, it's no secret that market-based investments are exposed to losses, sometimes very significant losses. Another risk is that market crashes can happen without warning. Today, in a global economy, we can go to sleep at night and then something can happen on the other side of the world that changes everything. By the time we wake up, it's too late. Have you ever heard of the lost decade? That was the decade from January 2000 to December 2009. If you're in the typical age group to be my customer, Not only have you heard about it, but you lived through it, and most likely it had a massive impact on the money you have available for your retirement today. On March 24, 2000, the S&P 500 index was at 1527. By October 9, 2002, the S&P was at 777. The stock market went on a bull run to 1564 on October 9, 2007, only to crash to 677 points on March 9, 2009. It wasn't until 2013 the S&P finally reached the same level it was before it crashed in 2000. Now, what was lost over those 13 years? Well, time for sure. Everyone invested in the S&P lost 13 years of opportunity. If they had had their money in the no market risk retirement strategies that I specialize in, not only would they have had the opportunity for accumulation, but they would never have lost any interest credited in a fixed indexed annuity. Listen, I don't know when the market will be up or down, and trust me, whoever your current financial planner is, they don't know either. Wouldn't it be prudent to consider some downside protection for that reason alone? Since we're talking about losses, doesn't it make sense to learn more about avoiding losses coming from market risk? Fixed indexed annuities are one of the fastest growing options for retirement planning, and it's no wonder why. Call now for our Safe Money Retirement Book and Information Kit at 844-905-SAFE. Was time the only thing that was lost in those 13 years? What else was lost? If you were in retirement and drawing down on your account or taking forced required minimum distributions, you realized losses at the worst possible time. Because of that drawdown, you're probably still not breaking even. What might have been 13 years of break even for some people could be 20 years or more for you. As I said, I don't know when the next crash will be, but I know that the longer it's been since our last crash, the more likely we're closer to the next one. I also know that most financial professionals don't talk about the actual loss in the lost decade. They don't talk about the cost of anxiety. Anxiety from market risk is stress that you don't need in retirement. There will be plenty of people telling you that it's worth the risk, but will they be there to replace what you lose? Will they make sure you don't outlive your retirement funds? Will they make sure your grandchildren go to college with their money if you lose yours? That's a question you should probably answer before you take someone's advice. Even if you don't lose money, is it worth losing your peace of mind? Now that's something worth considering. I hope you've enjoyed Safe Money Retirement Radio this week. Unfortunately, we're out of time today. Thanks for listening, and until next time at the same time, I'm Tim Wood reminding you to stay safe so you can step into a secure future.
You've been listening to Safe Money Retirement Radio with your host, Tim Wood. Find out how to contractually guarantee that your hard-earned money is safe while avoiding market loss so you can have the retirement that you deserve. Call Tim Wood now for your complimentary Safe Money Retirement Book and Information Kit at 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233. Or contact him online at safemoneyretirement.com. The preceding information does not represent tax, legal, or investment advice. Surrender charges apply to base annuity contracts. Optional lifetime income benefit riders are used to calculate lifetime payments only and are not available for cash surrender or a death benefit unless specified in the annuity contract. The tax consequences of annuity income should be considered with the help of a licensed tax professional. Listeners should be aware of IRS penalties for withdrawing funds from an annuity before age 59 and a half. Fees may apply. Annuity guarantees are based on the insurance company's financial strength and claims-paying ability. No information presented today should be acted upon without meeting with a qualified licensed professional. Obviously, by calling us now, you are taking just the first step towards protecting your retirement. It is important that you read all insurance contract disclosures carefully before making a purchase decision. Rates and returns mentioned on this program may vary based on state availability and are subject to change without notice. Did you know that your Social Security could be much higher depending on what option you choose for claiming your benefit? Social Security income is not as simple as some think. When should you take it? Should you only take your spouse's benefit while you continue to work? Deciding how to receive your Social Security benefit can make your head spin. Don't decide about your retirement without the facts. Call us now and ask for your complimentary Social Security guide at 844-905-SAFE. That's 844-905-7233.